Part 2. Orientation. Chapter 3. What is the supernatural plane of existence? The supernatural plane of existence fits over the natural like a glove to a hand. It's all around everybody, all of the time, and it's invisible only for our inability to see. We'll call it SUPOX for short. That's an acronym for Supernatural Plane of Existence. The SUPOX is to a large extent off the edge of the map for modern science because the interactions between the two planes appear to be neither predictable nor repeatable. They in fact are, but at least half of the factors determining their predictability are hidden to those who are blind, which most humans are, most of the time. Scientists trying to quantify the SUPOX are fighting with one hand tied behind their back, largely because there's nobody in the SUPOX with a vested interest in the scientific community understanding that plane of existence. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 3 of the CEV. What can be seen was made out of what cannot be seen. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 18 of the NIV and CEV respectively. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Things that are seen don't last forever, but things that are not seen are eternal. That's why we keep our minds on things that cannot be seen. John chapter 9 verse 39 to 41 of the CEV. Jesus told him, I came to judge the people of this world. I am here to give sight to the blind and make blind everyone who can see. When the Pharisees heard Jesus say this, they asked, Are we blind? Jesus answered, If you were blind, you would not be guilty. But now that you claim to see, you will keep on being guilty. Job 11 verse 7 to 9 of the NIV. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and wider than the sea. The SUPOX is larger than the natural plane of existence, which for simplicity we'll call the NAPOX, standing for Natural Plane of Existence. In that the NAPOX doesn't currently extend up into either heaven, the capital of God's kingdom, or down to the city of hell, the kingdom of the dead. Collectively, mankind is the boss of earth, a realm positioned in the middle, and of this area, mankind has control and dominion, and not just to the NAPOX, but also to any area of the SUPOX connected to the NAPOX. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 to 28 of the NIV. Then God said, Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so they may rule over the fish in the sea, and the birds in the sky, and over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image, in the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. James chapter 4 verse 7 of the NIV. Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. We will spend more time on the issue of authority later, but for the moment, a sufficient summary is simply that God set mankind as having dominion over the earth and all connected to it. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 of the NIV. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Because the majority of mankind is blind to the supox connected to the napox, it has become lawless, an area now occupied by the devil and his demons. Genesis chapter 3 verse 14 of the NIV. You will crawl on your belly and you will eat dust all the days of your life. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12 of the NIV. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to earth, you who once laid low the nations.